The group arrived in Dublin as part of a worldwide campaign to seek the return to the Australian homeland of the remains of their ancestors, which are scattered in museums and institutions throughout Europe and America. The preserved head of an Aborigine known as Shaney has been in the Royal College of Surgeons in Dublin for over 100 years. It's believed he was murdered in his native Hobart in Tasmania during the suppression of the Aboriginal people during the colonisation of Australia. Aboriginal tradition demands that both the body and spirit be laid to rest in the earth of their homeland, or they will never be at peace. Michael Mansell claims Shaney was his grandfather, and this weekend protested at the lack of any positive response by the college authorities to hand Shaney's head over.
We've never been able to give him the proper traditional ceremony, which means that his spirit is back in my country in Tasmania, and it's crying out for the return of the body so that the traditional ceremony can take place. And until that happens, the spirit is in a state of trauma and has been for the last 100 years or more.
It's very important for Aboriginal people to get their ancestors back to Australia. They first must have to receive their customary last rites and to remain with the earth and become one with the earth, and then enter the spirit world.
In the past, the college authorities have said any official request for the return of the head to Australia would be given serious consideration by the college council. Mr Mansell said such a request was sent to the college last Wednesday by the Australian embassy here. A college spokesman said this weekend they were unable to facilitate Mr Mansell's request to meet the college council since it only meets once a month. The group has written to President Hillary outlining their predicament and has now called on Mr Haughey to back their campaign. They say they do not intend leaving Ireland until they can take Shaney home with them, so he can finally rest in peace.
It's even more traumatic when I know that my ancestors in there. I know my cultural obligations are that I must get the head and I must take it back to my people for a ceremony. It's something that drags out of my soul and makes me feel like less of an Aboriginal person until I carry out my cultural obligations.